everyone. How's it going? How's it going, Ryan?
It's going well, going well. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Everyone, I'm here with Ryan Cardinal today, and we're going to talk about his project. I'm going to let you say it because I will butcher it.
It's KAYAS.
KAYAS.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been saying it right then.
Yeah. It's like, kiss my ass, but it's KAYAS.
I like that. Kiss my ass. So, let's
Don't
talk
mind
a
me
little bit.
while I drink my big ass coffee here.
Oh, yeah, get that coffee in, man. Get that
Hell
coffee
yeah.
in. You need that caffeine.
Yeah.
I can't function without my caffeine.
Well, you can function, but it's just not properly,
I think I need to start calling these segments that I've been doing with the creators moonshining with Lola and CG creators or something.
Oh, I like that.
I need a title for these. So anyway, it's been a Tuesday, man. It feels like a Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been off. Yesterday, I live on Vancouver, British Columbia, and we got the forest fires and stuff going on right now. Yesterday it rained and kind of threw everything off because it's it's not smoky and gross out. What the hell is that?
I know it's always freakish when you go outside and after a good rain, because we live in the mountain, up towards the mountains, and so you see all the mountains in the background, and they'll have smoke coming off of them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of pretty, but it's kind of after a few days of it, you're I'm tired of it.
It's pretty gnarly in the interior British Columbia right now. Some of the towns are, it's you see the photos, it literally looks like hell. Just everything's going up.
That's crazy though. Have they been able to get them under control, or they?
Nah, they're just crossing their fingers, waiting for the season to change pretty much at this point. So
I think it's what they do down here in Arizona and California.
Yeah, they're it's everything's on fire. What are we gonna do? Not much we can do.
Let's kind of dive into who you are, Ryan. Let's talk about you and what brought you into Comicsgate and wanting to make comics, and we'll go into KAYAS after that.
Yeah, sounds good. So, in 2016, I quit being a tattoo artist, and I was going to make the shift into doing comic books. But at this point, I was I need to get a little bit better at storytelling, so let me do a job that does that. And I went into animation and went into storyboards. And dumb me, I didn't know storyboards were actually kind of high up on the tier of desirable jobs in that world. I just walked right into it. It's oh, yeah, this is the thing I want to learn about. And so let's do this. And so I did storyboards. I worked on a couple of Netflix shows. Super fun experience. Everybody was totally awesome. And it was when I was at my first gig that I had one of my coworkers come up, and she goes hey, did you hear about Comicsgate? I'm what the fuck? Comics has a gate now? What the hell? Because this is on the tail end of Gamergate and stuff. So
right.
And Gamergate I didn't know much about, but I heard some stuff. And then she told me oh yeah, and it gave me the narrative that runs through everything, a bunch of evil people, And I'm that just sounds dumb. And she goes yeah, I know, right? I was no. You can't do a movement with that as your slogan, because you will get shut down. You won't be able to exist. So I'm this sounds like something I got to investigate, because if this is the world I'm going into after animation, I need to know what's going on. So obviously, I check it out. Check out your boy Zach, as he's, at that point in time, villain number one. And as we all know, he's just making commentary. He's pointing out stuff. And I was this doesn't, I don't know what people are flipping out about. What the hell's going on here? And then Ethan, and then I just kind of slowly morphed into this. And then, as we all know, the whole Mark Waid thing. And then I was that was such a galvanizing point, because I was if this asshole can stop an indie creator, that means that anybody in the industry can stop me from what I'm doing. I need to get on board with this, because this is fucking wrong.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, right. We all need to that's what we're here for, right? We come together and we network, and we show them, hey, we don't need you, right?
That's it.
Yeah, we can do this, and we don't need you.
Yep.
And I think we don't need what you're peddling.
Well, I think that's what scares them too, is because just like anything that's new, this is all old stuff just coming back around again, it's just a different format. And from what CG started as to what it is now has evolved so far beyond their talking points back then, that when they talk about CG, it's yeah, you're talking about something that's years ago. Like that's a different thing than what it is now. And if you look at it now, you have all these awesome creators doing what we're doing, and they're sitting there kind of dumbfounded, like, how are you guys doing this? We don't get it. And it's just like, yeah, because we actually talk with each other and we want to make shit that's fucking cool, and we want other cool people to have that cool shit.
We don't give a shit about all the politics and the bullshit that goes on with all the other stuff. Like, it's about creating beautiful products, right? Beautiful comics. You know, people get into it because they love the medium.
Yep.
So it's like they just can't quite wrap their head around that. You know,
well, I've said this for years about comic books. Is it's one of the few industries that is literally fueled by the love of the medium.
Yes.
Like in the 80s, you know, we know that people were making money off of it, but it's also, you had the people that loved making comic books. And then the 90s hit, and then the image scene blew up. Why? Because those guys loved making comic books and they wanted to make them their own way. And as things progress, you just had people like the executives that were like, well, if we can just keep them on, you know, that love thing, we can just keep siphoning it from them. But now we realize we don't fucking need you guys. We're going to do our own thing. So we're out.
That's very true. Very true. I'm going to say hi to our chat. We got a few people that showed up here to say, hell yeah. B Rose. Our boy Johnny Cage.
So
he says at least it's caffeine and not crack. Hashtag Gregbeck.
Yeah, how do you not know?
Mo Biggs, what's up, Mo?
Mighty Mo.
Fanta, what's up, Fanta? And I think that's everybody for right now.
Well, thanks for guys for popping in.
So when you came into Comicscape, did you want to like create this comic, or was there something else that you wanted to do at first and then it just kind of?
Well, this comic, KAYAS, has actually been on, how can I put this, the back burner in development cycle since 2005. So this thing is in development like long time. And if you've been anybody who's been tattooed by me, you have heard this story. Like that's that's just the way that it goes. If I've been doing multiple tattoo sessions on you, this has come up at some point. So I've been working through the story, working through the project, and the whole goal was to do this, but I was like racking my brain being like, how the hell am I going to do a Kickstarter that can fund, you know, me actually living off of this thing? And I was just looking at it completely wrong because I still had this stupid, you know, retail mentality, you know, like I was like, how am I going to make money off of selling $5 comic books? That's not going to work. I'm going to have to sell like 10,000 comic books just to even like find some break even point. Right. And then your boy Zach and Ethan, they did it. And it was like, oh, yeah, people want to support you and the project, and they're fine with paying, you know, X amount. And I was like, okay, that's a completely different thing that I can get behind, because obviously it works. Right. Yeah. And just been developing the story in the background forever. And oh man, it's, in case you've seen the trailer, right?
I did. Oh my God, that trailer was awesome. Like, I need to pull that up too while we're talking. If you haven't already got it pulled up.
Oh, I got it pulled up. So
okay, yes, because we were definitely showing that today. Oh my God, like it's got that anime style to it, and I like that was just awesome. I was like, oh my God, like yeah, everybody should want to check this out. Like,
well, that's the whole vibe I'm going for. Obviously, with it is, you know, everybody kind of like bashes the whole weebery thing, but I'm like, for me to do the story that I need to do it in a way that I can actually move the story along in an art style, and that style allows me to do that. Like I can draw the crosshatch stuff, all that stuff, but for me, you know, it might take me 2-3 days to do one page. I got a tattoo career, I got other stuff on the go. I need a drawing style that actually lets me do the story, and that style does it. And doing that manga anime scene, the template is already there. Like the sorry.
Oh, you're good. Drink that caffeine.
Get it in me. But yeah, the template's there. They've already shown make the books, then make the cartoon, make the toys, and it just cycles because people love that shit. If you have a cartoon to sell your stuff, it just helps compound on itself. So that's why I made the trailer the way that I did, because eventually that's a goal that I want to do. But the comic book is the first thing.
So let me ask you this, because we haven't really gotten into it.
Mhm.
Are you doing everything on the comic, or do you have like people helping you?
No, it's just me.
So you're doing the writing, the art, the color. Well, are you
Uh,
doing it in color?
no, it's
Oh,
gonna stick black and gray. That way, it stays very true to the whole manga vibe. In case you didn't notice, the trailer is also black and gray. So
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. But I remembered that as soon as it came out, I was like, wait a minute, the trailer was in black and white. So
Yeah.
okay. So it's a one man show, huh?
Yeah. So far, it's just me tap dancing around trying to do everything. So and
Well, let's get into KAYAS a little bit and talk about like the story, the background.
yeah, totally.
Like what can you tell us about it without giving away too much?
Okay.
That's what I want.
All right. So we're on issue 2. That's what's coming out on September 7th. And issue 2 is where we actually kick into gear with the main characters. Issue 1 was a bit of a whole prologue backstory that involves an event that sets everything up, and it will come back around way, way later in the story. So issue 1, the characters that are involved with that play a major, major part, but like way down the road. So it's not a short story. It's not a 4-issue said and done. No, we're talking a volume, like maybe 10 volume kind of a thing.
So you're building a world in it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What was the like hardest part of that for you?
You know what? Because I've been working on this like in the background since 2005, everything's kind of there. So it's just sitting down and doing it now. And the way that I've structured the story is I allow myself to have enough freedom and wiggle room where I'm not bound wholly to the script, you know?
Right.
A lot of writers, like, I have my script, stick to the script. That's the way that it is. But because I have everything kind of mapped out, it's just like I get from here to here, and whatever happens within here, I could play within this space, and that still allows me to have some of that creative freedom. So
that's awesome, man. Like,
yeah,
everybody does it differently. Everybody's got their own approach and their own style of how they write and how they draw and how they bring it all together. So like I love hearing how people's process goes. So
yeah, I got my setup kind of like a story tree. So like, at the top of the tree is the story, and then it branches out from there. So then you got, beginning, middle, end, and then those branch out, and then you have branches from that. And then eventually it all will run together along the bottom as the overall story.
You said this is issue 2. So is issue 1 already come out?
Yep. Issue 1 came out. There it is. I did a campaign in 2018, 2019, fulfilled that, kind of just to test the waters to see if I could do it. So I did a very low print run, met my funding goal, which was awesome. And kind of now that I got my feet wet with it, I have a better idea what I want to do with the project, how I'm going to do it, and just how we're going to go forward with it. And since I'm a one-man show, trying to keep it within a manageable framework. That's another big key thing for me.
That makes sense. Did you have any issues your first time around?
No, actually, everything went surprisingly smooth. The printers were totally awesome. I know a lot of people have a lot of printing issues, but I went with Comic Impressions. Rich Boy, the guy who runs that, super, super awesome, super informative, lots of communication, which is really good. They deal specifically, they have a section in their print company that deals just with comic books. So they have a group of people that actually know what they're doing. So if you have a technical issue, you can ask them, and then it's just a matter of finding out what the print language is versus the comic language, and they will find and meet you midway, and you can actually figure out your problems. They actually did a thing where they stopped the presses for my book because they're like, hey, we noticed that there's something on pages 37 and 38. We want to know if that's on purpose or if that's something on our print end. And so we looked it over. Yeah. So we looked it over, and it's like, no, that's on my end. That's actually supposed to be like that. They're like, all right, cool. We can start.
That's a damn good printer you got there.
Well, they do digital printing with, I can't remember what it was. HP Indigo 12,000. It's like one of the big new digital printers where their digital prints are virtually identical to offset printing, but because it's digital, they can stop the press at any point. Unlike offset printing, once it's going, you can't stop it.
So are you doing this as a digital as well as a hard cut or a regular paperback?
For right now, it's only a physical product. There's not going to be any digital until later on. I actually have marketing plans for that down the road. So anybody who's overseas that wants to get this, there's got to be a digital pack, but it's actually going to be way later. And the reason for that is, how can I put this without spilling the beans? Nobody's utilizing digital properly yet. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to pull up your trailer here and
So,
watch the trailer and then we can go into the story.
So I'm gonna pull up the new edit that I did. This is the metal version. I did this one up last night. So let's pull this up here. Share my screen.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna say hi to Woodrow. Hi, Woodrow.
Yo, what up, Woodrow?
I'm laughing at you guys in the chat. What's up, Fizzy?
Let's pull this up here.
Mo Big said, at first, I thought Ryan's book was going to be a whitewater rafting adventure, but then I looked more closely at the title.
Yeah, I got dyslexia there too, Mo.
We got Pell Rider. What's up, Pell Rider? That's my brother. My brother from another mother.
Nice.
All right, we ready?
Yeah. Let's pull this up here and... KAYAS, the story of Blood and Stone, issues 1 and 2 go live on Indiegogo September 7th. Be sure to get your hands on these action-packed adventure comics and don't miss out.
All right. That was awesome, man. Everybody loves the chicken. And everybody's like, we need to know more about the chicken.
Oh, there's lots to know about Trigger the chicken, so.
Trigger the chicken.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So you've got your mailing list up.
Yeah, got the sign up going on right now. Like I said, in the trailer, September 7th is when we launch. And I have the original trailer here, so if you want to pop over there, click on that, and that is the more, that's one that I timed the music to originally. This one, I was just like, throw some, high speed metal behind it, and we'll beat it up a bit.
Johnny Cage says, even the chicken is high on crack. When will the madness end? Will someone please think of the children?
I did think of the children. That's why I put the chicken chain smoking in there.
Oh my god! Can you tell us anything about the chicken without giving it away?
Oh yeah. I can go into him. So in essence, we have the 4 main characters, and the 3 core that we're going to be following is Nito. He's the teenage boy. Let's see if I can. Yes, if I can pull this up here. There it is. Beep. All right. So we got Nito. He's the main guy. He's kind of like the central focus. And we got Trigger the chicken. And with him, Sisik the snake, and Catmaster Lee, they're essentially his surrogate fathers. Nito has grown up in this like mystical, magical jungle forest his entire life. And these are kind of like the only group of people that he's ever known. He's actually never really seen much other people. So when he goes into the real world, that's where the adventure begins because it's his first time interacting with other people. And Trigger, Sissik, and Catmaster Lee act as his surrogate fathers, uncles, and brothers. So depending on the situation, that's the cycle that they'll go through. Trigger kind of acts as like the hard ass uncle, you know, like he's the one who likes smoking, gambling. He's the one who's going to get you in trouble. He's got the little Napoleon syndrome because he's the smallest of the group. But at the same time, you know, there are certain things that he can do where he can pull his weight. Sissik the snake, he's kind of like the big brother. So him and Nito are always going at it one way or another.
So are they kind of like his conscience? Like
oh no,
good, bad? No, okay.
They're just their own people. They're actually there. They're not made up. So when he goes out into the world, it'll be, you know, an actual chicken and a giant rattlesnake as his two buddies.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And Catmaster Lee, he's you know, an old stinky cat humanoid thing, and he kind of plays like the elderly grandfather fatherly role. And in book 2, this is where things kick into gear. We actually get to meet them, see what they're about, their interactions, and Nito gets his hands on what's known as the Seeker Stone, and from there, that's where the adventure begins.
Awesome. Like, do we need the first one to know what's going on with this one, or
it'll
can
help.
we get the first one with the second one?
Yeah, there's going to be a deal where you can get both issues 1 and 2. But if you just want to start in issue 2, you can. But obviously, if it'll help out the story for the long run if you get issues 1 and 2, because there's, like I said, it's going to take a while for that story part to come back around. But once it does come back around, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, who are these guys? But to anybody who read issue 1, you're going to be like, oh, shit, those people are back. Okay, what's going on now?
Have you always drawn in like a manga style, or
No. I was very much a child of the 90s. So Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, like that whole era. That's how I grew up drawing. And as time progressed and things went on, being a tattoo artist, you have to become very adaptable at many different styles.
Right.
Being able to draw a comic book, it helps in a way, but there's so many things in comic book stuff that doesn't translate well into tattooing that you have to shed stuff. And the more that you shed stuff, you actually start coming out with a cleaner, open style. And like I said, for doing this project, if I was still drawing that way, I'd never get anything done. So I made the shift toward anime and manga because I like the actual storytelling format, the way that the story can be told, how it allows room to breathe for the story. And that's really more in line to the way that I want to tell the story. So drawing that style, it's like a 1-2 punch combo. Do
you have like a favorite manga?
Let's see. So like Akira is up there just because it's like a technical achievement.
Like one of the best.
It's like a holy grail kind of thing. It's like it's not even in the same field as everything else. It's just set aside. You know, it's like, oh, see that mountain over there? Yeah, that's Mountain Akira. It's awesome. But like currently right now, my favorite artist is Yusuke Murata, the artist who's doing One Punch Man.
Okay.
Ooh, like that comic book does to me now what old comic books back when I was a kid did to me then. Like the page turns, like it actually creates excitement. Like it's literally mind blowing when you open the page and you're like, holy shit. Like I haven't done that since I was a kid. And that book brings that same feel back. And I'm hoping to bring some of that into this. So
that's an awesome feeling, isn't it?
It's tough to get, man. It's
like when you get high for the first time and like you try to get that high again, you just can't get it. It's like it's one of those like bittersweet things, right?
Yeah, it's like there it goes. But then when you get close to it again, you're like, oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then the creativity just keeps flowing, right?
Oh, and that's the awesome thing with it too, is like you get in that feedback loop where, like you see that thing and then, oh, I want to do that thing. Like it's been so long since I picked up a book that made me want to draw immediately after reading it. And One Punch Man does that for me.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing stories like that. I love it. getting people back to it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Creators Outlet? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Co-writer wants to know if the chicken runs up a certain red dress.
Unfortunately, no.
No red dresses? Dang.
Yeah, not for a while. Not for a while.
He was probably hoping. Johnny Cage says the weebs always come out on top. That's right, Johnny. Don't forget it. What's up, Hoggy?
What up, Hockey?
Dean from Comics Mate. What's up, Comics Mate?
Yo.
They're making fun of the weebs now. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I was just noticing, like, as he pulled it up there, I was like, I wondered if he planned on doing that in like manga style, but it works really well. Like, I really dig like everything that's going on right here.
Well, it's funny when I quit tattooing. Like the goal was to do this book, and I was like, I need to come up with my own way of doing this. So I literally took probably about a year and a half just drawing faces. Like, I have a sketchbook of just tons and tons of faces of me just trying to figure out a system, a way of doing it. Because, you know, you can draw like somebody else, but you're just drawing like somebody else, you know? It's you need to put you into it. So I took the actual time to be like, I need to figure out my thing, the thing that I can do quickly. Let me pull the resources of stuff that I personally enjoy, and let's incorporate those. So funny enough, Naruto is one of them, because the artwork style in the manga is super clean and really, really broken down. And there's no real like shading in it. Like, it's very, very selective. It's just very open and black and white. And that was super interesting. And the way that they did faces was closer to the more, you know, actual structured faces, as opposed to like the giant big eyes. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm going to ask you, do you have manga boobas in here?
You know what? Not for a while. Not for a while. Man. It's
crushing the hopes and dreams.
There's reasons for it, though. There's absolute reasons for it. I don't want to anchor the story on TNA.
Right.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
You know, I had to ask. Like,
yeah.
That's a selling point for me, Ryan.
Oh, don't worry. You can come back in later issues, and there is going to be TNA. So, but just right off the bat, it's just introducing the characters and dealing with the first story arc, and that's going to be getting out of the jungle. So.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I had a question I was going to ask you, and it totally just slipped my brain.
Did you have your coffee?
This morning.
That's so long ago.
I probably need more. Do you have some more concept art that you want to show us?
Oh, yeah. I can show you some of the pages that I got going on here. So
yeah, definitely. We'd love to see more. I know I would.
So these are going to be pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of issue 2. So you're going to see these up on the campaign when the campaign goes live. So at the tail end of issue 1, we segue right into this. So in issue 1 is actually a tale that Cat Master Lee is telling. So all of issue 1 is, you know, basically the narration of Cat Master telling the story of how Nitto came into their possession. And then this is a caretaker lady and talks, you know, one day she just went away. And like I said, it's all going to be done in grayscale. So, and the way that I'm setting it up too is the grayscale for anything that we do in flashbacks will be done in halftones. So like that, you know, the way manga looks. And then for the rest of the story, I'm doing it in grayscale. So there's going to be a slight difference, and that's how you're going to be able to tell when something is in the past and something is present.
That's awesome. Is there any way we can zoom in on the bottom part?
We have the ability.
And see the all the detail that's going on there. That's awesome, man. I'm digging it. I'm totally digging it.
Yeah, like doing like backgrounds, you know, obviously. Okay. So then we got her leaving there, and then we got this. Oh wait, no. Oh, I didn't pull up. Oh, here I gotta quickly pull something up here. It didn't. There we go.
You're good.
Do.
So me and you, brother. Me and you.
Oh yeah.
We're not live. We're just sitting here talking about.
That's all right. So yeah, and then this is the double page spread. Once you kick in, and then I'm gonna have the logo, KAYAS down here, and then this kind of just shows the area, part of the area where he's growing up. So we got Cat Master Lee telling his story here, walking off, and then back in the distance here, we got Nito and Sisik doing their usual training, which consists of Nito lifting giant heavy things while Sisik basically beats the crap out of him. Classic Shaolin monk training, you're going to do this thing and I'm going to try to screw you up while you're doing this thing. And,
what up, Wolvo? He says those pattern grays are sweet.
Oh, thank you, Wolvo.
And Woodrow says he loves the environment.
Oh, thanks, Woodrow.
You're getting really positive feedback from the chat.
Oh, thanks, chat. Yeah, I just dig...
Olsen, what's up, my man? That is dope.
Thank you, Timothy.
Yeah, the art's great, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's I know it's a weird concept. Like you got a chicken, the snake, and this boy. But trust me, at the end of the story, you're gonna be so invested in the fact that you're actually worried about a chicken that you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I reading? Why am I concerned about this?
But
anyways.
There's a bit of a psychology to it there too, right?
Oh, exactly. And there's like symbolism if you want to check it out. Obviously, you got the chicken, the cock, the black snake. Come on, like it's
the boy. It's a young man who's
going out into the world, bringing his friends with him. Yeah. So
finding himself. So
exactly. And you bring the things with you.
We got a lot of psychology here. A lot of euphemisms and metaphors.
Well, there's also a reason why the chicken has a straight up nutsack for a chin. It's like it's chicken waddle, but I was like, let's just make it a nutsack because that's just funnier.
I was gonna make a cock joke, but
go ahead. That's the whole point.
I'm trying to be professional.
Fuck it.
Johnny Gage says he's always worried about his chicken.
Oh yeah, man! Don't want to choke that thing too hard. Just hard enough,
Oh my goodness. Timothy Olsen wants to know what is up with the snake.
So, he's literally just a giant rattlesnake, and he's teaching Nito, the young boy, martial arts. But the problem is, because he's a snake, he doesn't have feet, so he can't teach him proper footwork. So there's only so much you can really teach him. So it's only certain hand techniques, certain movements, certain punches. And they always get into scraps because that... Nito could only take so much from quote unquote big brother. So they'll get into it. And that's kind of like where we lead into with this stuff. And then we got Nito, talking about, oh man, like there goes Cat Master. Like he always wanders off in the middle of the story and he only tells us once a year kind of thing. And then you have Sisik being like, hey, pay attention. And he cracks him with his tail. And then he's like, fuck, that's it. And he's like, oh yeah, here we go. And then he's bitching at him like, every day we do the same thing. And then, throws down the boulder.
I like the fact that he's missing his sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Johnny says that if I don't make the cock jokes, they will.
Oh, yeah. That's why they're there.
And Timothy Olsen says, does the chicken have 11 herbs and spices?
Oh, he's spicy. All right. He's the foul-mouthed chicken.
And Wolvo wants to know if, he says at the end of the day, I feel I need to know if the chicken manages to finish his spliff.
Okay, so the thing with Trigger is, since this is a world of magic, he is always smoking, like constantly chain smoking. Like he cannot be without it. So if he's like asleep, he's dead asleep, he's still smoking his cigar, it goes out, he literally will light up another one and put it in and continue sleeping with it. If he's like trapped or something like that, the cigar will actually like form in his mouth. It is part of the thing. He will always have the cigar.
Have you ever met anyone that did something like that? But just like smokes so much, they just get off the back of each one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. And this is the thing. One of the reasons that I did it too is because you have the I can't remember what they're called, but like the safety and practices for animation, and there's like this long laundry list of things that you cannot show in children's cartoon. And I was like, okay, let me look at this list, and these are the things I'm going to do in my cartoon and in my comic book, because this stuff happens. This is just in the real world, this stuff happens. So I'm going to portray it in a way in my comic book. And if I ever do an anime style cartoon, it's going to be part of it. So, and the whole thing of, the one of the main characters smoking all the time, I was like, yeah, because we all know people that smoke.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
even though they're trying to outlaw it and ban it and
oh yeah,
regulate whatever they can, kind of keep their thumb on us.
Oh yeah, trying to keep us in line, and that's part of it too. It's just that little bit of the thumb in the eye to people telling you, no, you can't do that, you can't do this. I was like, well, yeah, you can. There's no problem with it.
I like the way you relay action in your sequences.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's
really good.
Obviously very, very manga inspired. So,
I'm big into the manga genre right now.
We got the actual throwdown between them, and so
they're going to battle.
Yeah. So they're going at it, and with all this, Sissek's basically going to be schooling him. He'd be like, "Oh, predictable," like, "Oh yeah," and then goes in for the backhand. And so they're all doing their stuff back and forth, and Sissek's just going to be like, berating him the whole time.
Will we have other people we meet along the way that'll come in and
be a
part of this as well? Will they be animals as well or human?
Well, funny enough, the snake and the chicken and cat master are kind of like the only quote unquote animalistic creatures. Other than that, we actually will be dealing with like monsters and stuff like that. So let me see if I can pull up the cover here. So yeah, in the cover here, this guy in the background with his hand coming up toward you, this is Wessa of the Wild. And he also lives in the jungle. And he's got some machinations planned out for Nido as they're trying to leave the jungle. So,
okay.
Yeah. And let me pull up this here. Where is it? Yeah, so we got kind of like the group shot here. Let's see if I can blow this up.
Now, are you just sticking to just the book for like the campaign, or are you gonna what else are you planning on adding in, or stretch goals or anything, or?
So unfortunately,
that way.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I live in Canada, so shipping stuff out from Canada is a pain in the ass because we have like weight limits.
Oh, don't you don't want to get me started on shipping right now.
Oh, I've heard.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, that VAT tax that they started doing in the EU. Oh my god.
Fucking nightmare.
Yes, that's going to be a hell of a hurdle for the creators in comic state in the indie scene.
Yeah.
So, it's the EU right now.
Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why I'm going to do a digital tier, but not till later on. Just because obviously I want everybody to get their hands on this, but I will say to anybody who's overseas that wants to get their hands on this, there will be a collected edition coming out after the 3rd issue. So you might just want to hold off till then. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, that VAT taxing, all that kind of stuff, it's just like, God damn it. Like, really? Extra 20%? Like, God.
Yeah,
damn.
Right? Ooh. Like, oh my God. Like, I got a letter from someone and they had to pay like 15 euros on something that I've already paid $22 on to ship.
Nasty.
I was like, what in the hell? I was so livid. I felt so bad for the person that received it. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, this is really going to fuck things up for people.
Well, in Australia, people too, like shipping out there is an arm and a leg. But I will say one good thing with Canadian shipping is they kind of like, the crappy thing is to send out a single book. Like once we hit £1, if it's £1 and under, it's a set price. But the second we go over that, it literally doubles the price. Like there's no in between, which sucks, you know. But on the other hand, there is like this difference though, where I can get away with almost like 2.2 pounds of stuff in that offering. So for the campaign, I'm actually going to just doing set bundle packages. That's it. So everything will be like, you buy this bundle package, this is everything you're getting in it. So that's how I'm doing it.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, because I want to avoid like if I have too many stretch goals and then that's going to bump me over my weight limit and then everything doubles, I'm
Hey, Ryan,
screwed.
can you hold it down for just 1 second? Just like keep talking. Just keep.
Barely a second. Let's go to the chat here. What's everybody saying over here? Now we've got Timothy Olsen. Damn you, EU. Yep. Johnny Cage. Having a fist fight with a snake is kind of a dick move. Well, that's kind of the funny thing, you know. It's like he's teaching him snake style, so he's actually trying to teach him how to move like a snake. But there's only so much you can do when you don't have feet yourself. So it just kind of creates a funny scenario. But the thing is,
sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I was going to say Sissik is kind of like the reason that Nitto and Sissik can fight is because they're the ones who can actually kind of like deal with each other. Sissik is like a power guy, and as we find out, obviously Nitto's carrying that giant boulder. He's got some beef behind those punches too, so that's why they can go at it.
Can you tell us about some of these other characters you have up here?
Yeah. So we'll go from left to right. So here we have Wes of the Wild. He's kind of like a shamanic kind of character. He's got his own plans, his own machinations. He's kind of like lost his mind, and he just wanders throughout the forest. Doesn't seem quite all there, but is that an act or is that on purpose? Like what's going on with that? And he's been part of the forest for so long that he's kind of like forgotten who he actually is. But he's got plans for Nitto. The necklace, the bracers that he wears, the little gloves that he wears, those are very specific things that come from when he's a kid. And because of those things, he's got plans for him. After that, we have Lady Kudara. Lady Kudara is part of the Scout Elites. We meet her in issue 1. The Scout Elites are like an elite group of trackers that are sent out by hire from kingdom to kingdom. And their whole scene is that they've never let anybody go. No one's ever escaped when they've been set out to bring somebody in. And she has the ability to create, how can I put this, like essentially emotional auras. So if she wants you to make you feel like something, she can flood you with that, or she can actually read what you're feeling. So if you're lying, she can tell, you know, she can sense what's going on. Or one of her abilities is that she has like a long range attack where she can focus all of this in and channel it into like, essentially imagine Mr. Fantastic, but it's a psychic black hand. And then if that thing touches you, whatever emotion that she touched you with, it literally will overload you. You're incapacitated. You're like a puddle of whatever that emotion is. So if it's rage, she can load you up with rage. If it's like love, load you up with love. In behind that, we have a pirate arc that's going to be coming way down the arc. So this guy, this giant, is second in command, and this little cat creature here, this is the cat captain.
I was going to ask you about that. Like,
yeah.
Does it have a peg leg?
Yeah, he's got a peg leg,
symbol?
Peg leg, and a button for an eye patch.
That is awesome.
And he literally is an inanimate object. He's a stuffed, you know, a little stuffed toy, but he is the captain of the ship, and the giant is second in command. He's his first mate. And kind of like the Hulk, you don't want to get him angry, you know, like there's you just want to keep him as happy as possible. And funny enough, the Cat Pirate Captain, Trigger, and Cat Master Lee, they all have a bit of history. So when they all bump into each other, you know, there's going to be a little button of heads between Trigger the chicken and Cat Captain here.
So wait, Cat Captain and Trigger are gonna butt heads.
Yeah, they don't really get along.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I really gotta like dig into this story and see what's
going on. Well, don't worry about it. Like I said, it's very much in the manga vein. So like a lot of the characters that I'm going to be introducing, like just with screenshots and stuff like this, we're not going to get to see them for a while. So. And back here, these are more characters from issue 1. This guy with the glasses back here, he's a Pathfinder. His ability is he can see the quickest way from point A to point B. he can actually source out different routes. So he just has to look around, use his ability, and he can like find paths. So if like say that they're hunting and they need to find rabbits or something like that, he can actually like zone in and zero in, and you'll find the rabbit trails. So he can find out the path where those things are moving. Or if they're tracking somebody down, as long as he has something of theirs, he can put the vibe out and it'll be like, oh, there they are, and narrow it in and find the path that they're on. And then we have Maya. She's actually the thief, and she's stolen something in issue 1 from a kingdom, and then that's why the Scout Elites are tracking after her. And here we have the captain of the Scout Elites, Kento, and yeah, he's got the ability to siphon the life force out of things. It's a technique that's been taught to him by an old, like secret, I would say cult, I'd say secret society, and it's the mark of the Opapasu. So with that is what, if you touch somebody, you siphon their life force, and then you can use that, and depending on what your own personal makeup is, it'll how it'll manifest. And with him, it comes out as fire and speed. So he's a very, very dangerous entity to come against, because if he touches you, he can start draining you. And if he does drain you, then he can convert your life force into energy that he can use as like high speed attacks and like giant fireball bursts. And then this girl here, we meet her in the second story arc after getting out of the jungle arc happens. And she is the daughter of these desert nomadic tribes people that live on these giant floating rocks. And yeah, so this is going to be like the first actual female character that Nito comes across, and hilarity will ensue.
Can only imagine.
Yeah.
So is she going to be kind of like his love interest, or?
Well, we'll see what happens.
Or maybe not love interest, but lust interest.
Well, let's put it this way: if you ever seen Dragon Ball and the interactions between Goku and Chi-Chi, that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get some like Dragon Ball Z vibes in there. You got some manga, some other animes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm drawing influence from, obviously, like if you're going to draw from it, draw from the best.
Right.
Pull this out here, but if anybody wants to, you can get onto the mailing list here, scroll all the way to the bottom, and on the bottom you have these 4 little circles. If you want to click on this one here where it says website, click on that. It'll take you to this, and you can read a free 16-page preview of issue 1.
Well, that's awesome. And that gives people kind of like a piece of what's going on here. And
oh yeah, it just gives you a little bit of insight as to the story, and gives you a little bit of precursor. So issue 1 is actually 64 pages. Issue 2 is going to be 32 pages. And that's all free to read. And it kind of, obviously, it leaves you at a little bit of a cliffhanger. Here we got Lady Kudara using her dark hand technique, which doesn't work on Maya for some reason. And we find out later on what's going on.
That's awesome, man. I was actually going to ask you to bring up the sign up page, because I wanted everybody to see where to go. And Johnny, thank you so much for dropping these links in the chat for everybody to be able to go sign up for KAYAS.
Thank you, Johnny.
Like Johnny Cage, one of the best. Love you, man.
So yeah, there's the sign up page. And like I said, if you want to read that free 16-page preview, just scroll all the way to the bottom. Little circle says website. Click on that, and it'll take you to this little site that lets you read it like an actual comic book, unless you flip through it. So super handy.
Johnny Cage wants to know if you're going for the worst father husband in anime history. Sounds fun.
Oh man, there's. See, this is the thing with issue 1. If you don't read it, once we come back around to those characters, that punch is going to be kind of missing. So but like I said, if you don't get issue 1, you just hop into issue 2, you're going to be fine. The story picks up from there. And the way that I'm doing the campaigns too is these books right here. So we got issue 1. That's a standard cover. And then the secret tier cover.
Let me make you big.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Hey, all
now
right.
you can see what you got.
Yay. So this is the standard cover. This is, if anybody notices, this is the Akira homage.
I can see that.
Yeah. So standard cover, I only have so many copies of this. And the way that I did the printing is on, like, unfortunately, you can't get newsprint. So I asked the printers, like, what's the closest that you have to that newsprint feel? And he's like, we got a 50-pound open stock. And he sent me a sample. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Because one of the things is I also like the feel of a comic book. I want it to feel like a comic book, like a manga or a book that I opened up when I was a kid. And that's what this feels like. That's the express purpose. And these are limited print run. So I only do 350 copies of these. Once they're sold, that's it. And we have this is also from issue 1. This was part of the secret tier. If you sign up for the mailing list, there's going to be another secret tier. So the only way you're going to be able to get the color cover is by joining up to the mailing list. And again, there's only 100 of these that were printed. Some of those sold out in the last one. I only have a certain amount of those left. And in the new one, there will be a secret tier again with only 100 printed copies of that. And I also have sketch covers available. And this is issue 1. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more because I'm going to be doing a sketch on top of that. But you get the full story. And there will be sketch covers for issue 2 as well. And those are limited to, I think, 100 copies as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different way of doing it. Once those copies sell out, like all 300 issues, that print run is done. And if there's more demand, I'll be opening up a new variant cover for issue 1. And those will also be very limited print run of maybe like 200, 300 max. That's it.
Heard it here, guys.
Yeah.
It's limited. You gotta
well,
get here and get it. That's why you gotta go sign up.
Well, I was trying to figure out a way because, like, I'm a small creator. I don't have the reach as some other people, so I'm not that concerned with quote unquote, selling out 10,000 copies of anything. But I do want to have a cycle where anybody that is hopping on, there is the potential that whatever you're getting is valuable due to the limited print run. So this is how I'm figuring out of doing my variant copies as well as keeping it low print run.
Right on, man. Right on.
If that makes sense. And the other thing too is once the first 3 campaigns are done, issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3, floppies won't be printed again of those. Once they're collected, they're going to be collected in digest format. So either like, classic like manga size.
Look at you. I made you small again. You're already bringing stuff up. It's like I gotta make it big again so we can see what you're talking about. Yeah,
so you won't get the floppy size after this. Once it's collected, it's going to be collected in manga size format.
Awesome.
Yeah, or slightly bigger. I got to find out which one will fit better. I'm shooting probably for this one because this one actually fits the North American style comic book format a little bit better, just with the pages being a bit longer. So that's the plan. So if you missed out on the actual floppies, when I do the collected and you want to hop in on that, you can hop in there. And when we do that, there's going to be like obviously a little extra goodies in that book because I'm going to be able to put a little bit more in.
Ryan, I got to ask before we go any further here, what's the deal with the picture on your door?
Wait, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Unicron from Transformers.
Do you do that?
Yep.
That's awesome. What did you do it in?
Acrylic ink.
That's sweet. I've been looking at it the whole time we've been sitting here talking. I'm like, I wonder what medium he used for that.
Yeah, wow.
I like him.
One of the tattoo shops that I used to work for, we used to have art shows every 3 or 4 months, and they were all themed. So that was part of our Brutes, Bots, and Babes.
It sounds like a good theme. How long did you say you've been doing tattoos?
Oh my God. 20 plus years. I did it for 19 years straight. And then 2016, like I said, I quit, went into animation, learned what I could while I was there, met a bunch of awesome people. And then coming back into tattooing, again, because I was like, I need a job that allows me to have the flexibility and freedom to make the comic books. And I was like, well, dumbass, you were a tattoo artist for years. Let's go back into that. And I was like, okay. And just so everybody knows, when I say tattoo artist, I ain't no fucking slouch. I'm legit. Like, it's funny because like people like I don't look the part for doing it as long as I have.
Oh yeah, you're not all covered from head to toe. Like your eyelids don't.
yeah. Everybody expects, you know, like big burly tattoo artist, neck all done, and then they see me and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
I don't know. I've had some tattoo artists that didn't have tattoos.
Oh yeah, like I got tattoos, but like I came up in the tail end of the biker era, so you know it's like everything underneath, you know, everything that's exposed.
Yeah.
But now it's flipped the other way. Everyone's just like, you know, do my face and neck first. It's like, I ain't doing it. Yeah.
Like, what would you say is the hardest part to tattoo?
You know what? The neck really sucks. Like just this whole throat area. I
gotta concur with that. I got a recent one like on my right shoulder.
Yeah.
And, like it kind of goes up into my collarbone there.
Kind of like right around here, kind of.
Yeah. And so, like, the tattoo artist, like, you could feel it all the way up in my neck, like, all the way up into my ear. And I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it only gets worse the higher up you go, too. Because, like, it's just squishy. You know, you can't get, like, the arm, you can stretch it. You can get a nice, tight feel for the piece. You can't grab somebody by the throat, you know, like kind of make the skin tight.
Yeah, that's what I hard to do with the tattoo needle.
Well, I this is super funny. Years ago, I accidentally, like, almost choked out a buddy of mine because
oh no,
I was tattooing his chest like this big chest rocker of Carpe Diem, and while I was tattooing him, I didn't realize that I had this part of my arm across his neck.
Oh no!
And when you're tattooing, if you get a good line, you got to stick with it. And I had this good line, and it's a super long line. And as I'm doing it, I didn't realize that I was pushing down on his side of his neck. And he said, he saw the tunnel vision, everything's slowly going black, but he knows I have a good line, so he can't say anything. And then, like, at the last second, he said, "Oh, there's just this little pinhole of light." And then I let go. Then he let out this like ungodly gasp, like, and it scared the shit out of me. I'm like, "Oh, fuck it."
Will you like incorporate any of the tattooing style into KAYAS?
So later on, there are plans to do that. Just because I do really dig the Japanese style of artwork. Because I have a snake character, that's going to lend very, very easily into that style. So later on, for certain covers, I am going to be doing very tattoo-oriented style covers.
Awesome, man. That's badass. You can complain about that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to talk about it a little bit. I'm all about my ink.
Oh, yeah. Let's see some of the pieces I did up recently. I did this.
Just so everybody's aware, KAYAS goes live September 7th. So.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I got to do this big, awesome back piece on a client.
Oh my God, I saw this. I've seen this. That was a badass piece, man. Yeah,
it's how was it? Namabuki, I believe. Yeah, it's a courage in the face of inevitability. So a lot of people freak out when they see this because it's such a jarring piece. It's a decapitated woman. So people, especially these days, are like,
right?
"Oh, violence against women," and then it's like, no. There's an actual reasoning behind this, and they're like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll let it go."
That probably took forever to do.
Let's see. I think we did outlining for.
Those back pieces, man. Those back pieces. Time.
Yeah, I think it was like 5.5 hours for outlining on that one.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And we did this cool big Japanese Hanya on a.
That's badass.
Yeah, this dude sat like a champ. This actually went by really, really quick in comparison to other pieces I've done. I think this was only like 4 sessions.
Wow. I'm loving it, digging it. Sorry, like I said, I had to talk about the ink. I couldn't.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't, like stop us here and like not talk about some ink before we go. So.
Well, it's kind of funny too because like even though I'm part of CG, there's this weird part of me that still has to maintain kind of the mainstream because I actually make a decent living off of the mainstream. Like, I got people coming to me for, Spider-Man pieces, Wolverine pieces to get tattooed. So I'm kind of in this weird, like, two world things. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with what's going on. But at the same time, I got these people coming to me for work of that stuff. So I'm just like, well, I'm just going to roll with it. And there's still stuff that I still enjoy. The mainstream, I just don't buy it anymore.
Right on, man. Right on. Oh, we've been going for about an hour now.
Oh, see, it went by so quick.
So I guess we're going to call it. But everybody should go and sign up for KAYAS. And on September 7th, back it.
Hell yeah.
And let's get KAYAS, up into the 5-figure teams and
hell yeah,
beyond. I want to see these projects succeed and go well beyond what we ever imagined they could.
Yeah, well, that's why I did the animated trailer, because I was like I needed something to kind of bridge that gap. Because like when you say I got a comic book, people are kind of like, awesome, cool, and that's it. But if you have something moving, that'll capture their eye a little bit more. So.
Oh yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on and talking about this and like letting us know all about KAYAS and where we can get it and what you got going on.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. And yeah, if anybody wants to follow me, I got a YouTube channel. I'm just the Ryan Cardinal. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. I'm there. I'm going to be streaming a lot more coming up. Obviously, you got to do the promo, got to be out there, got to be pushing your own face. And people like you, Lola, thank you for having me on. It really helps get the reach out there, especially for, a relatively unknown guy like me. But it's greatly appreciated.
I love it. I love doing this. I love talking to you guys. I love watching y'all create. Like, just seeing everyone succeed is like, my biggest dream, I think.
Well, we're all out here trying to make a stab at it, because we all know that the iron is hot right now, and people are craving stories other than what they're putting out there in the mainstream. So, and we got it for them.
The chief has spoken, says KAYAS is badass. Need another awesome trailer. There you go, Ryan.
Well, it only took me
more trailers.
Yeah, it only took me a year to animate that. Oh my god.
What? Or Phil Ryder says he can back much. All his gold and silver is buried in the backyard.
Pale Rider knows what's up.
Yeah, he says he loves the hookah chicken. I think I said that right. I'm getting tongue-tied. But thank you guys for coming out. Oh, Ollie. Hi, Ollie. We're ending. Sorry. I appreciate everybody, though. I appreciate everyone that comes out and supports. And, I just want everybody to support and back and encourage, be kind, be loving to one another, and go back KAYAS when it comes out September 7th.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Peace out.